Hello, guys. So, I am so excited. I wanted to talk about a couple different things today. I am 21 weeks pregnant. So, the ultrasound actually showed that I'm a day behind what I thought I was. But the baby is super active, super strong. My kids and my husband have already felt the baby kick. I don't remember that happening this soon with any of my other four children. So that is exciting to me because it just means that my baby is healthy and strong. During the ultrasound, every bit of the anatomy, bone development, organ development, everything looked perfect. So we are not concerned about the health of the baby. Everything is going really nicely. So my biggest issue right now is food intake. Y'all, I am starving all the time. All the time. Like, I constantly have to have food. Last night, I had already eaten dinner and I literally looked at my husband. I was like, oh my gosh, I think I overdid dinner because I knew I had two plates. And it was just too much. But then like an hour later, I was like, I'm so hungry. And so my husband went to Sonic and got me mozzarella sticks. And then I had a cup of cookies and cream ice cream. It was bad. And it wasn't like 30 minutes later, I was in near tears because I was so hungry. And I told my husband, I said, I'm going to cry because I'm starving to death, which I wasn't. And I probably shouldn't have. But then I went and got saltines and cheese. So no good things for me. No good things for me. But that is kind of the biggest change right now is my appetite is through the roof. It's like I'm playing catch up for that first semester, teacher and me, that first trimester whenever I was just sick and throwing up all the time. So now I'm like eating like crazy. So I really do have to kind of watch that. I have gained a total of 9 pounds, which I think is fine. Let me backtrack. I'm not really worried about my weight gain at all. I don't tend to gain a lot with my boys. I did gain a lot with my daughter, but I'm also a nursing mama. So I know that I'll lose that weight pretty quick. I'm also pretty active. So whenever I'm not pregnant, I usually am a runner or walk or do something, especially like yoga, things like that. So I'm very active. So if I gain a little bit of weight this time and during my pregnancy and don't feel super great about myself, it's totally fine because it will fall off, and I'm more concerned about just making sure development of the baby is where it's supposed to be more than I am about my weight. And also, like I said, I just really love food right now, and that's more important to me than my weight. So I just can't get enough food. But the baby is definitely popping. I'll show you a picture right up there. And if you notice, I'm really low. So I'm not used to carrying my babies this low. Usually they're up pretty high. This baby is very low. So that's a little different. I don't remember any of mine being low, but my husband did say that I carried my daughter lower and my boys were much higher. The heart rate is in the really low 150s. It's went from like 151 to 153 every time. It's very consistent. So old wives' tale says that's girl, but that's not necessarily, accurate or true. So we will see if it is a boy or girl, but we did keep it a secret during the ultrasound. The tech was very good about hiding everything from us, so we have no idea if it is a male or a female. Either way, we were very excited. So, a couple things I wanted to talk about today that I am pretty excited about. The first is a Lotus birth. Okay, y'all, I'm not going to do a Lotus birth But, okay, so if you don't know what a lotus birth is, a lotus birth is whenever you deliver the baby, you deliver the placenta, but then you keep the placenta attached until it naturally falls off. And that's usually like 10, 12, 15 days. Think of like how long it would take for like the umbilical cord to fall off. That's about how long it's going to take for the placenta to fall off. The reason that most moms do this is because it just helps increase that blood flow. It's very healthy for the baby. It's got a lot of just different benefits to it. I'm still kind of studying up on it, so I don't know all of them. I can't breathe half the time through this pregnancy. So I'm not going to do a lotus birth, but I do plan on leaving the placenta attached for 2-3 hours after birth. If my midwives are cool with that and there's nothing that they object to, I plan on doing that. I've never done it before, but I'm just thinking that it would be, in my mind, I envision this as being more calming for the baby, more peaceful, more natural, not as traumatic. And I know the baby cannot feel whenever you cut the cord or anything like that, but I just feel like this would be more serene for the baby. So that's kind of my plan. I do have a birth plan, and we all know that whenever you have a birth plan, it does not go as planned. So I intend on having a home birth. I intend on birthing in my bathtub. Really hope that works out. My whole plan is to like birth in the bathtub, have some skin time with the baby, and then when I pass the baby off to my husband to have skin time, I'm just gonna stand up and take a shower, clean off real fast, put on some nice pajamas, and then go back to my bedroom with the baby. I think that's perfect. It sounds ideal. Likelihood of it happening just like that is probably very low because we all know that nothing goes as planned. But that's my plan. However, my house is set up to where we can do whatever we need to do, but my plan is to have my baby in the bathtub. And then I want to keep that placenta attached for a couple hours and just kind of let the baby kind of experience some things. Now, after my husband and I have had some time alone with the baby, then we're going to invite my children in to meet their new sibling. So while I'm at labor and delivery, I've already let everyone know I do not want anybody at my house. I want it to be very quiet. The only people I want at my house during labor and delivery is my children and my husband, my midwives, and then my mother and my mother-in-law. They're the only ones allowed at my house during my labor and delivery. And this is just because I need it to be very peaceful. I need it to be very quiet, and this is how we're going to do it. After I have the baby and it's been a few hours, then my father-in-law and my brother and sister-in-laws and my nieces and nephews and all of them can come over and meet the baby, but I just need that labor and delivery time to be just basically just me and my family. I know a lot of women who really encourage their entire family to come over, and I think that that's beautiful and wonderful. It's just not something that I feel like I need that extra noise and distraction while I'm trying to labor and deliver. And then we'll keep that placenta attached for a little while. So here's the next really cool thing that I wanted to see if anybody else has done, is planning to do, or has even heard about. I want to burn the placenta off instead of cut or tie it off. If my children want to, they can help with this process. If they don't want to, they absolutely don't have to. I'm not going to push them to do something that they don't want to do. But how beautiful would it be for all of my children, myself, and my husband to burn the placenta off? So it's definitely not harmful to the baby. You keep the baby away from the fire and everything. But they have candlesticks and they burn the placenta off rather than cutting it off. And again, I just feel like that's more, it's less traumatic. There are a lot of cultures who do this regularly. And they say that it's just a way to like bring the baby into this natural world from the womb to the world. It's just kind of it's a very serene and peaceful kind of transition. So it's something I'm really interested in doing. So hit me up if you have done that, or you are planning to do it, or if you have even heard of it, or if you think, oh my goodness, this is the craziest thing I've ever heard of. I really want to hear your opinion on it. Because I mean, I'm going to do what I want to do, and that's what I want to do. So it doesn't really matter if somebody thinks I'm crazy, but I really just want to hear if other mamas have done this and what your experience was like during that. And the last thing I wanted to talk about, so this I guess really isn't much of a pregnancy update, it's more of a just me talking, is breastfeeding. So you guys, I have heard, been told, and seen that formula is in really high demand right now and low supply. So mamas are having a hard time getting a hold of formula, and the price of formula has skyrocketed. This is very concerning because babies have to eat. Now, I'm a breastfeeding mama. I have breastfed all of my children. It's like the more children I have, the longer I breastfeed. I fed my last one till he was like 2. I'm sure I'll feed this one till it's like 3. I don't know. I love breastfeeding. Breastfeeding is one of my most favorite things in the world whenever it comes to motherhood. I encourage breastfeeding. Now, I used to think, why do you post pictures of you breastfeeding on Facebook and Instagram? I will be honest, I used to be one of those moms that was like, I don't need to see that, like cover up or whatever. And it's like the older I've gotten, the more I have appreciated the process and realized that it's not that we're just like trying to show you our stuff. It's just a natural thing. And the more I think about it, the more I'm like, I don't want to eat with this big thing over my head and everything. So I'm a very private person. If I'm in a place, like if I'm in church or something, I'm going to try to go to the nursery, to a closed room where I can nurse without having to cover up, but then also not expose myself. But I'm not against women exposing themselves to nurse their babies. I'm just not comfortable doing it. But my whole point is, why are we not normalizing breastfeeding? It's become this thing that breastfeeding is the most normal, natural thing for a baby, and we have perverted it, and we have made it into something that it isn't, and we have made formula the norm. Like I said, I'm not against moms who feed their babies formula. I'm not against moms who have to, or who choose to. I'm just saying we should not be making breastfeeding seem like such an abnormal thing whenever it is the most natural, most beautiful thing, in my opinion, that there is. I love it. I love it. So if you are a breastfeeding mama, because this is kind of what I'm thinking, with formula being the way it is, I hate whenever we waste breast milk. And so there's a lot of moms who freeze their breast milk and they have it for like in their freezer for years. Why not donate your breast milk? I mean, I plan on keeping mine. I'm going to make some lotion with it. I will probably continue to feed my child, even with my frozen breast milk, until it is gone. But if you are somebody who pumps, but then you feed your baby formula, or you pump because you have so much extra supply, and your baby still nurses and is completely taken care of, you have all this extra, instead of tossing it out, because we do so much pump and dump, instead of doing that, find some place to donate that breast milk to. You could do it to local hospitals. I'm sure even like DHS, child welfare, things like that might take some of it. But just be thinking about things like that, because these babies need to eat, and breast milk is like the best thing that they can eat. And with the supply and demand of formula right now, that breast milk will be gold. Gold. It is anyway, but it's going to seem more so now. So really think about that. I also want to know how you feel about breastfeeding. Again, like I said, I love it. It's my most favorite thing. I think it's beautiful, it's natural, and I would love if every woman breastfed. I really would. And most women that I talk to who did not breastfeed will tell you, I wish I could have been able to breastfeed. Or if I could go back, I would breastfeed. There are not very many women who will tell you that they would have chose something different. Most women have a desire to breastfeed or would have changed their mind. So anyway, you can either comment on this video or you can private message me, but I would love, love, love to hear what you think about a lotus birth, what you think about holding on to that placenta, what you think about burning of the placenta, and what you think about breastfeeding. And the last question I want to leave with you, I'm interested in this. This is not something I'm going to do, but I have been reading a lot about it, is what do you do with your placenta, especially home birth moms, after you've birthed your child? A lot of people turn it into tea. A lot of people, I guess, send it off and turn it into like some kind of vitamins and stuff like that. I really don't plan on doing that, but I would 100% love to hear what you do. I guess even if you were a hospital birth, you probably have the option of doing like keeping your placenta. So if you have kept your placenta and you have turned it into something that is ingestible, I would 100% love for you to hit me up and tell me all about it. So anyway, 21 weeks, we are 5 months pregnant, and feeling really, really good. And I'm just like, this is flying by so fast. I have no idea how this pregnancy has flown by so fast. It's probably because I'm 37 years old and days are not nearly as long as they used to be. So anyway, love to hear from you guys. Have a great day.